There comes a time in everybody's life when we are faced with a difficult situation and the responsibility of making those decisions lies solely in our own hands. And sometimes we are uncertain about what the best course of action to take is and need guidance and understanding towards gaining the best result or outcome. And one way that some people take is reading the tarot cards. Tarot cards originally began as a common deck of playing cards in the mid-15th century in various parts of Europe. It wasn't until the late 18th century they began being used as a trend for divination. There are 78 cards in a tarot deck and that are divided up into two categories. The major arcana that has 22 cards and that signify cosmic principles, and the minor arcana that has 56 cards and that represent the human and elemental world. Tarot cards and the significance of the cards will help you to focus so, you, so that you'll have a better understanding of yourself and the world around you. Tarot takes time and practice to be able to fully understand each meaning inside a card and then be able to piece them together for the solution slash answer that one is looking for. One who practices tarot cards finds their connection to the cards based on the representation of symbols of the card that is drawn. The minor arcana is divided into four suits: wands, discs, swords, and cups, which that represents the four elements: fire, earth, air, and water. Then when one goes to the tarot for their answer slash solution, the reader shuffles the deck with their idea in mind and then lays the deck out. The tarot deck layouts vary to a simple three-card spread that represent past, present, and future, to a more complex layout like the seven-card horseshoe spread that each card is positioned in a way that connects to a different aspect of the problem or situation at hand. The seven cards represent past, present, hidden influences, the querent, the one who seeks, attitudes of others, what should the querent do about the situation, and the likely outcome. Like I said, there are meanings that pertain to each card because it is constructed on a general human experience. The experience is illustrated in the major arcana part of the deck. The other part of the deck, that are the suits, the minor arcana, represents the elements that are part of everyone's astrological chart based on their zodiac sign. One zodiac sign is either one of the four elements: fire, earth, water, and air. Knowing your zodiac sign's traits and identifying yourself to them will help you feel what the representation of the symbols inside of the card that can be related to your question. This is how a connection is formed to you personally. You are having an element that is represented inside of one of the minor arcana cards and its elements that could be your element of your zodiac sign or the element of somebody else that you know that it matches their zodiac sign. These are the connections that are made that are relevant to you. The card reads you first, and then you read the cards. The four elements are translated by the type of action each element represents on the minor arcana. The wands represent the element fire. The action of fire that is represented in the wands is one's life force, creative spark, passion. The sword's element is air, and the actions are thoughts, realities of the mind create. The cup's element is water, and their actions are deep emotion, love. And the disc element is earth, and the actions are physical things, body, work, money. The minor arcana are the 22 title cards, which are numbered with Roman numerals from 0, representing the Fool, to 21, the World. They teach about transformation and evolution of the human soul, presenting each phase of development in an isolated archetype form. They are numbered in a meaningful order to suggest cycles of change, and they can be studied in a sequence or as a single excursion into the psychic realms of hidden arcane wisdom. So, this is the Fool in my deck. Um, this is the book that came with my deck, and it has a general um, outline for each card and what it means. So I'll read to you what the Fool represents. Like the feminine archetype, the Fool, the Zero, embodies all duality within itself and its infinite in its possibilities. Appearing marginally as a joker in modern playing cards, the Fool is actually the main card in the tarot, representing the essence of life itself, the divine light within the human form, and the secret of reincarnation. Now, with my Mother Peace deck, you see here the symbols I'm talking about, and that is here's a Fool crossing the river, walking on her hands, safe from the crocodile, blessed by the goddess, hiding in a form of a griffin. Now that would probably, a griffin is half bird, half lion. So I think that would be the combination of the tiger right here and the vulture. And the only possession the Fool has is the bag of truth that is attached to her ankle right here. And if you see closely, the wisdom, the bag of truth, um, has the Egyptian eye, assuming Horus eye. So that's part of the symbolism I'm talking about for the card. Um, and then how it's a cycle. So according to starting at 0, the Fool, it will then be transferred into 1, which is the Magician, and the this Magician is the symbols of fire, earth, water, and air are all represented. Fire, you see his wand. Earth, with his foot, he is planting seeds. Um, Water, and his foot, he has water coming out into this container. It has looks like another Egyptian symbol of like an antelope, and then swords with the thoughts of electricity. Life's truths are hardcore, and so are our feelings that really never go away, only change. The details inside of these cards explain how these two facts collide by explaining where you are at in such the experience when this happens. These lessons can be devastating but also life changing. The best way through is choosing the best actions, depending on the sort of type of situation is at hand. After you know the meaning of the minor arcana and understanding the cosmic themes of the major arcana is when one can see into the future. By the connecting of the cards and understanding the interpretation, the querent will find meaning by their self-reflection and projection. The connection is for a spiritual guidance through the knowledge to properly move in the natural state. Through this process, one will be able to be prepared by understanding what the message of their spread is telling a court. The fact that tarot cards are considered a form of magic, for some people, that would say that magic is not real, so then the purpose of the tarot cards is obsolete. But like I said, it takes practice in reading the cards to have a better understanding. Plus, the reader has to have an open mind. And the fact that the tarot is a sophisticated body of knowledge regarding the arts, healing, language, science, agriculture, and mathematics, so that guarantee, with those two factors combined, will create an aha moment for everyone who tries the tarot. That is how magical energy is created and can only be contained by practice of the tarot.